Okay, so as you can see, there's that tree that's leaned over that's all hung up in those other trees. This happens all the time. There are actually two here I'm going to deal with. I'm going to kind of show you the best ways to deal with that. One easy way is to get someone else to deal with it, ideally with a piece of heavy equipment like an excavator or a skidder. You can just grab it and yank it. Alternatively, you can take your truck and yank it, but if you're back in the woods, then you probably aren't going to have your truck there, so you got to cut it down. Forgot to say earlier, another way you can deal with these is just take another tree and cut it down. Use it like a hammer and knock it down. The hazards associated with this are pretty big. You don't want to get crushed by the tree, and when there's no hinge supporting it, then it's going to roll all kinds of ways. In this case, because that one's still bound up in there, we're going to have to drop it down, by which I mean it's not going to fall down. We're going to have to bring it out that way. Basically, the process I do is I'll take short sections off and let the trunk drop each time. You want to make sure you're not in the way of something falling on you. So if you can, use another tree like this one here to kind of block yourself from it. Don't get your bar pinched either. You've got lots of weight coming down that's trying to pinch your bar. So you got to put a notch in and give it somewhere to go. Right now, the compression side is the top. So I'm going to do a fairly large compared to normal notch, then under bucket, and it'll drop here. As the tree drops, it's going to walk forwards. At that point, it might eventually fall back. Don't hit the house, don't hit the truck, don't hit the dog either. But hopefully this just falls out or gets light enough I can yank on it. You see how it wants to go there? Stand back. There we go. All right, so as you can see, sorry, I'll shut the motor off. As you can see up there, hopefully the camera's picking that up. It's at a better angle now, so hopefully it'll just slide. That's a lot of hopefullys. It's always dicey when you're doing these this way. What else are you gonna do if you're stuck out there and got nothing else? All right, so we lopped off two sections. Now it's standing up there. So we're gonna keep lopping sections here. The issue is you really gotta watch for limbs at this point, dragging down. And I'm gonna try and work it over. Sometimes when I get to this point, instead of working it back further that way, I'll start doing left and rights, which we might get away with here. We'll try. If I get pinched, I'll show you how to deal with that. See how it's wobbling? So I'll give it a little shove that way, keeping in mind the top's gonna come the other way. Oh yeah, never hung up, so that's a new issue. All right. At this point, normally I'd cut a bunch of these. Because of where this is, I'm just gonna hit it with the truck and give it a yank.